Hey everyone, this is Robert, and thank you for tuning in to Station Square. And yeah, we got a big crew today as we're already just kicking things off into high gear. Uh, I've actually invited members of another podcast which you can find on YouTube, Keeping Up with Chaos. So here in the corner we have Jocelyn Rocky, Lloyd Waller, and Gabriella Borgia. I,
You
sorry,
know, you
I'm
got
just
that. You got that.
That's fine.
yeah, me with names. But thank you all so much for joining me today. And yeah, it's such a pleasure that we finally got this because we've just kind of been talking about it, planning it for like a month in advance,
Yeah.
if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, schedules are just pretty chaotic, but this is why it's called Keeping Up with Chaos. So
Yeah.
yeah, so thank you so much, all of you guys, for joining me today. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just really
Oh,
excited to do this. So let's just get the ball rolling. So I guess to really start this off, kick things off with this, however long this is gonna be, because we always go over. So bear with us because we are chatterboxes. But yeah, how are y'all doing? And how's 2025 for each of y'all?
I
Like
feel
just starting
like
things off. Yeah,
so I was gonna
icebreaker.
say I feel like chaos is like on brand for us. So
Yeah.
we're anything goes, anything we just roll with it. And we just want to say thank you on behalf of all our whole
Mhm.
group. Thank you for, inviting us and to a conversation with you on your podcast. This is not too often. Every once in a while we get to be on this side of the table and get the questions asked get the questions asked and we have to give the answers versus like us always asking the questions. So we're happy to be here.
Yep,
Yes,
anytime.
just like Joss said, thank you so much for having us, and we are very excited. So, yeah, let's get things rolling.
Yeah, totally, totally. Um, so yeah, I think one of the questions I asked was, how would you say that this year has been for you? Like as far as voiceover is concerned, and personal, like how would you rank 2025 just in general
Yeah.
so far since we're in March and almost in April, which is kind of wild to think about that we're almost already like 3 months into the new year, man. But
I know. It's so crazy. It's just gone by in like a zip of time. It's like all of a sudden New Year's was here and then boom, it's March, so almost April, so it's kind of weird. I would say this year has been a little bit different. I don't know why. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe there's like multiple reasons. It's been a little different. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of it probably has to do with what's going on right now, which this is not a podcast for politics,
Yeah, right.
but
I totally get that. Yeah. Maybe that might be a little something to do with it. I'm not really sure about that.
I don't know, think that's the main reason, but
No, no. But I surprisingly, things were kind of trickling along at the end of 2024, and then I had like a pop of business happen at the end of 2024 that kind of like extended through the holidays, which is always interesting. And then the start of 2025 has also just kind of been steady when it comes to voiceover, and I also do on camera. So if we're talking business, my on camera stuff is kicked into high gear. And some of the things that I set out to do for 2025, I've already checked off my bucket list. So that's always happy. That's always like a happy, thing to know, especially only 3 months in, right? So that's my take on it, Gabby.
Yeah. For me, the start of this year was pretty interesting because I couldn't go to work right away. I had just gotten back from a trip and then I got really sick. Really sick. I lost my voice. My son and my husband got sick as well. So before I got sick, I was taking care of them. And then I lost my voice. Lloyd, I actually spoke to you on the phone while I was sick and he couldn't understand me.
I remember that. Really quick, how well can you hear and see me?
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
Okay, and
Yeah,
I can.
Oh, yeah, it's chaos.
oh
it's
I was
yeah,
chaos.
gonna say I
chaos.
also too had an illness in January. So when I say things sort of kicked into high gear for me, I had just recently booked with one of my on-camera agents for the very first time, one of my newest agents in January, and I had to decline an actual gig because I was so sick in the month of January. But then I made good and booked again recently with that same agent, and yeah, so that felt good because it's always hard to decline work when you're sick, and knowing that if you've waited for so long for something to happen and you're sick and then it happens while you're sick, or like you go on vacation and you book something, it's not fun.
It can
Yeah.
be chaotic. It can be
Yeah,
chaotic.
totally.
Yeah. So while Lloyd is kind of getting some stuff situated, I would just say that I might as well just speak on his behalf that it's probably around the same thing, which keeping up with the chaotic kind of different theme, I'm assuming if he comes back. I don't know. Oh, and also you got your little like the little sippy. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
totally
I have my
sponsored.
oh yeah, it's my little cup that I made some merch just for us, but yeah, we do have some merch that we have.
Yeah. I think I'm like, yeah, because it really is that time of season where everything has just kind of been like, somebody gets sick and then one other person gets ill. It's kind of like this thing that's just been going around bug. And we're also kind of like, because I know that this is kind of something that I discuss here on the show a lot with like COVID, pandemic, with a lot of germs and diseases and all these variations that have just been going about. So
Mhm.
I think yeah, wintertime and spring is just kind of like not good, especially if you're somebody who has to deal with so many allergies like I am right now, in case you
Yeah.
couldn't tell. But
Yeah, I hear ya.
yeah.
I feel like when someone coughs, I run the other way, and that
Or if somebody
includes
sneezes, I'm like, mm.
yeah, yeah, and that includes my kids. I'm running away from my kids when they're sick. Or if they come in my booth and they start coughing, I'm like, what is happening? Like, get out of my booth. Like, you do not cough in my booth. Or, yeah, and other
Yeah.
gross things that kids do. So I think that like year round, we are always worried about, not getting sick or getting sick. And unfortunately, when you're artists and creatives, like, it's just one of the hazards of our career choice, and you just have to power through. And I think that's like one thing that Gabby and I have talked about a lot is that you just have to try to stay as healthy as you can throughout the year. Um, get sleep, drink water, hydrate always. And when you do get sick, give yourself some grace and
Mhm.
allow yourself to fully heal and take the time and try not to get frustrated, even though I do get frustrated. And Gabby definitely heard a lot about it when I was sick in January. We were commiserating, but and then you just move on. You pick yourself back up when
Mhm.
you are done being sick, and then you just jump back in and you start auditioning and and there are things that you can do when you're sick, I mean, especially for me with
Exactly.
on camera stuff. I was getting auditions sent to me. I might not have been able to do the voiceover auditions when I was sick, but I definitely can check my email and see what's happening and respond to agents and respond to auditions that might be coming up, in a month and submit for them, knowing and hoping that they don't ask for a self-tape audition until I'm feeling better. But, it's just one of those things where you just have to keep going, give yourself some time and grace, heal, and then just jump back in.
Yep, bingo. Pretty much exactly from, yeah, you just pretty much took the words out of my mouth.
Oh,
So,
good. I'm glad. I do that a lot.
yeah, for
Everyone's
sure.
used to me talking a lot. But
Yeah.
I think like I speak for both Gabby and I about that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
yeah, and I feel like you had asked like how did we get started in voiceover too, And I think that's always interesting. Like I love hearing about people's stories. I feel like everybody has a story to tell and I want to hear it. That's kind of the basis of our podcast a little bit, to connect and inspire and just, hear about other people's stories. And you know, and I was like so happy when you asked that question, like how did you guys get started? And I got started in voiceover because originally I had been an on-air DJ for over 20 years and radio left me. And it's a sad story. I won't share it with you today because it's too long, but
Hmm.
I got into podcasting and through podcasting reconnected with a friend who was taking classes at the voice actor studio in Las Vegas. And because of COVID, piggybacking off of like illness, everything was virtual. So it offered an opportunity, a positive spin on a negative situation that offered me an opportunity to actually train at the voice actor studio in Las Vegas to really learn what voiceover was all about because even though I had already been doing voiceover on the radio station, I wasn't getting paid to do it. And voiceover is very complex. There's a lot of things that go into it. It's not just a microphone and a voice. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of how I got started. Gabby, do you want to?
Yeah. Um, well, mine. So I went to an art academy, and I actually told you guys, Jocelyn and Lloyd, that in my origin story, that thanks to a high school friend that I kept in contact with through Facebook, turns out his now wife, then fiance, um, turned out to be our coach,
Yep.
our teacher. So it was really thanks to one of my high school friends, but it's something that I always wanted to do. I just didn't know how to
Yeah.
get into the field.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I saw his Facebook post that I realized that this was my opportunity.
Yeah. I would agree. Lloyd?
Oh man, how do I keep this short?
I know, I was gonna say.
Welcome back, by the way.
Thank you, thank you. I don't know what happened. My screen went black and I could still hear you guys, but then it was in and out, and so I was like, I'm gonna restart my computer. But here I
The
am.
goat.
Gotta love tech.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I'm recording again, by the way, so
Okay,
that's good.
great.
Me getting started with voiceover, I just kind of weirdly fell into it, I guess. I hated my job. I still hate my job at the same
Mhm.
job. Um,
Wow.
and I asked myself, what can I do where I'm still using my degree, which is communications, mass communications. Um, and I was just Googling stuff, you know. I was like, out of all these things sticks out? And I randomly came across voice acting and the voice actor studio where we all started taking classes. But what's really interesting about that is I think, and I won't tell a whole story, but there were a lot of things that I probably would have been like a natural progression towards me doing
Mhm.
more art stuff for sure,
Yeah.
despite the fact that I never ever consider that. And now I'm like, duh,
Had
doing
f-
a
y-
lot.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, now that I'm like doing it, I mean, acting in general, I may start looking at not just voice acting, but other stuff. But I started it, and I was like, the community is really great. Being able to connect with, I think acting in general, just the being able like connecting with yourself in a way
Mhm.
that you normally would not be able to, and being able to express that is important and powerful. And I was like,
Totally.
I need to do this, and if I can do it and pay my bills, that's the goal.
That is the goal for
Yeah.
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, for sure. I would say that, like, Lloyd is incredible improver, so he's not giving himself enough like credit
Oh wow.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I think the most important thing about all of our stories is that when we did get started in voiceover and voice acting, that was just sort of like the entry point,
Hmm.
right? Like
yeah.
there's been so many other things that have unfolded, friendships, community, podcasting, collaborations, meeting new people, pushing ourselves beyond boundaries that we never even knew existed or even knew that we wanted. Um, which is extraordinary because never in a million years would I have thought that I would have ever done on camera. And the only reason why I did on camera was because of voice acting. And the only
Hmm.
reason why I did that was because I was supporting another voice acting friend who had decided that he wanted to maybe get back into on camera stuff. So I was like, all right, let's take some classes. And because of COVID and everything being virtual, we could take classes together for on camera. And then that sort of unfolded into like a new pathway for me. And Lloyd, you can share your improv.
Yeah, I guess to piggyback on that, I mean, I do a ton of improv, and that never would have happened without voice acting.
Mm-mm.
It's a guy named Brent Mukai, who we all know and love. He does a lot of character work, and one day we were talking. He's like, "Hey, if you want to do character work, you need to have good improv skills." And I never in a million years planned on doing improv. Now, I was open to taking classes, but when I was open to taking classes in my mind, that was going into, the studio and doing improv in a booth with a coach who's telling you how to do it. But that is not how it works. It
Hmm.
really is learning the basics and fundamentals of improvisational comedy, and not just comedy, but uh, really being able to live authentically in a scene
Hmm.
and doing that on the fly, you
Hmm.
know, with other people, by yourself, in a ton of different ways. And connected with there are a ton of people who do improv who act, and people
Hmm.
I've talked to. And one day, someone I was talking to about voiceover, and he says, I feel like you don't want to just do voice acting. And I'm like, what do you mean by that, Jason? Like, and he's like, I feel like you just want to act. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do with that right now. And it's something I've been sitting on for a while, but I am contemplating auditioning for a play at the end of this month. So that's a whole
I
thing.
yeah,
And
I
I
That's
think that
awesome.
never, ever, 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 ever would have considered any of that if it were not for voice. I wouldn't be the person who I am. And I'm still figuring who that
mm-mm,
is.
we all are.
But
Yeah.
I am proud of how I have grown.
Me too.
Yeah.
Gabby.
Yeah, definitely. And I think even for me, just watching Joss and Lloyd and our other voice acting friends, um, kind of also propelled me into try new things and push myself further. And so this year, something that I normally do not do, I auditioned for an on-screen role.
That's exciting.
So yeah, so that was actually new for me and something that I normally wouldn't do. I did work on an on-screen project with a friend, but that's different because it is a friend, and so she was guiding me the whole time. So actually having to do the audition and getting walked through it by our other friend who's well, he's in the industry, was a lot of fun. It was also a very really great learning experience.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess that's my cue. But yeah, I'm just like I said, we're all chatterboxes. We just love hearing different stories, and every single time I'm just like, oh, we're just only gonna do this for like 30 minutes, 40 minutes. No, and then it ends up being like 2 hours long. Like if y'all see my past episodes, like it goes on for like over an hour, 2 hours, because we have so many stories, so many great insightful just anecdotes, memories, and just so much stuff that we can share. And
Hmm.
honestly, we could just chat for hours on end, but I know for
I
all of
think
us,
so.
we're all working, busy, and we're actors that do our thing. We get up and, we do but we're grateful for the work and that we get to do all this for pretty much every day, that we could just have all these amazing just voiceover
Experiences.
characters and projects
Yeah.
and experiences. And I just really love doing something like this because it
Me
just gives
too.
me I just love hearing from different people's perspectives on how they do this and their mind, how they approach the work that they do and
Hmm.
just really bring it all to life. So I guess that kind of sort of segues to my next question, which
Sure.
is, what is something Oh, no, actually not that. It was, did y'all expect to be like, since you first got started with, I mean, particularly when you're doing the podcast or just working with so many different people over the years, did you expect to be semi well known? I know it's kind of a
No.
weird question to
No.
ask, but
No.
No.
No, not go ahead, Lloyd. You can
Oh,
start us off
yeah,
if
you can
you
start,
want to.
Lori.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think that people who gravitate towards character maybe have that mindset
Oh.
um pretty early on, just because they know character actors well,
Hmm.
right? But um most people don't know commercial or document. I mean, you may know a couple of documentary voice actors,
Hmm.
but the there's so much work out there that is not drawing attention to who you are, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um,
Yeah.
and I saw the look on Gabby's face when I said people who gravitate towards character.
Because they're both
I just
character.
Oh my,
well,
They're both character. I'm all
no.
commercial, which is hilarious.
But
it's
I'll
just
tell you why in a minute. Okay, go
okay.
Okay.
ahead.
It's just in conversations I've had with people, and that's not, and I won't say necessarily. I think maybe I phrased that wrong. If someone is doing character and they think I want to be the next whatever character, they're not
Mm-hmm.
thinking about being famous or anything like that. They're thinking about having done a role that
Mm-hmm.
people know that has an impact on people,
Mm-hmm.
right? That people
I like
care
that.
about. Um, and I mean, I guess there's nothing wrong with wanting to be famous, but I think everybody has to temper our expectations in regards to that. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
no, it never really crossed my mind. Though I will welcome it if it ever happens.
right. See, that's interesting that you say that you'd welcome it because like never in a million years set out to like start a podcast or do voiceover to become famous. And even the on-camera stuff, like I don't want my name on a marquee. I don't want to walk down a street and have people recognize me. I just want to be a part of the industry. I
Hmm.
just want to be like Lloyd said, be able to pay my bills, and do what I love because when I step off set, my heart is singing. My heart is in love with what I'm doing on set and behind the microphone. And I love it so much that like I would probably do it for free. Shh, don't tell anybody. But like I would do it for free, but I just need to get paid, and so I think that's kind of, I mean, I think if you go at it on camera or voice acting with it in your mindset that you want to be recognizable, I some people love that and it works for them, but for me, not so much. No, I just want to be here and be a part of everything. Go ahead, Gabby.
Yeah, exactly. I think I like the way you rephrased it because the first time around, I'm like, no, don't, I
The
don't agree
question?
with that. No,
Yeah,
with
me
Lloyd. Yeah,
rephrasing what I said.
yeah,
Oh,
his
okay.
response.
Oh.
Because just like Lloyd said, like if you can create this because what we feel when we're creating it's this thrill and we're putting our heart into it not because of the fame or because we want other people's recognition but because we actually enjoy it. There is a passion
Mm-hmm.
in there, and if that can spark something in another person,
Mm-hmm.
that's fascinating, that's great. But I don't think we necessarily do it because of that. We do it
Mm-mm.
because we genuinely enjoy it, and like
Mm-hmm.
Joss said, we would actually do this for free. Yeah.
Shh.
And I
But we have
sorry,
bills
that
to
was good.
pay and we have families.
Go
So
ahead, Lloyd.
Yeah,
Don't
well,
give the mic. Don't give us ideas.
I know. Go
I
ahead.
wanted to clarify on what Jocelyn said about uh, me being open to being famous, right?
Oh.
Once again,
Oh.
not
Oh.
something I am striving for, but
Right.
I have realized that because of trauma and other things, right? I have normalized accepting less than
Yeah.
what I am capable of receiving and going
Mhm.
for.
Mm-hmm.
And right now I'm doing more than I ever thought I would be doing. And that's, I am, despite my constant frustrations with so many things in life, I'm doing okay, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's nothing wrong with saying, you know what, I'm doing better than I ever expected to be doing,
Yeah.
and I still want to be doing better.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I'd
Yeah,
agree
So,
with that. Yeah.
totally.
100%.
so I'm not
Yeah.
trying to be famous or anything, but if somebody's like, hey, you
Right.
just made so much money that you bought a house that comes with a car.
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
amazing. Yeah.
Okay. I like those boundaries. I like the boundaries. Those are good boundaries. I can get on board with those boundaries.
Yeah.
My man Lloyd finna
I,
give a TED talk over here.
Yeah, right?
oh, don't get me started.
He's our voice of reason.
Everything I
Yeah.
do is a TED.
We love
Also,
it.
Yeah.
yeah, also, I dig the Mario shirt, Lloyd. Just
Thank you,
saying.
and I love your Sonic post. Actually, the only one I can see. Oh, there's a couple of them.
Oh
Yeah,
my
no,
gosh.
I
Are
have
we?
Yeah, like if we're gonna do that, okay, I guess we're
Oh
doing this
man,
now. Okay,
Oh
yeah,
my
I have
gosh.
so
Freakazoid.
much
Wow.
stuff
I'm
in front of me. I can't even show everything, but yeah,
That's very
I'm a
sweet.
nerd at
Hey,
heart.
good for you.
Yeah, and behind me
Mm.
is my voiceover booth, so I literally I'm never without just my booth if I need to. Like literally, if I got something that I need to record, I could literally just hop in here and just knock it out. Like I'm just glad that
Nice.
I'm able to just be. It's just nice that we're all in our little booths. I mean, I'm outside of mine,
Yeah.
but yeah, we could just
Yeah.
all be pretty much on demand and just pretty much be spontaneous with the stuff that we get to do every day.
Yeah.
So, I guess this is kind of a question that is more pertaining towards Jocelyn and Gabriella. Um, so, being moms, and I know
Yeah.
this is gonna be pretty interesting. Uh, Oh my God, what was the question? Because I know we were talking over email, but if I could remember how I phrased it, how is it like being like, having a mother-son voiceover duo and also being a manager and just, juggling all the other responsibilities on top of, your day-to-day life? I
Just
know it's
being a
specifically
mom.
more toward, yeah, just
That's more
towards these two,
Joss.
but if Lloyd wants to chime in with juggling, he can, but yeah,
Yeah,
go
it's
ahead.
so funny. Lloyd's like, and again with the kids.
Again with the
It's
kids. Ugh.
Well,
well,
just to be fair, Lloyd has done an amazing job juggling his job, which he absolutely loves.
Oh man.
Quote
And
parentheses air quotes.
yeah, and voice acting and classes and improv.
improv,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think we all juggle something. If you're not a mom, or not a dad, like we're all juggling something. You're juggling family and having pets and dogs and cats, whatever animal you might have in your house, or you're juggling friends and, that work-life balance,
relationships. Yeah.
relationship, the work-life balance. Yeah. So that all of that is kind of wrapped into this question, not just being a mom, but me being a mom specifically. Gabby and I've had this conversation. We've shared it with Lloyd before. You know, you a lot of times when you become a mom, you put everybody else first and
Mm.
you kind of come second. And so our journeys started, a few many years ago, and actually making a choice to put ourselves front and center, or at least even with all of our people, our important people, and taking this time to follow our dreams and to get trained and get our commercial demos and get started in the voiceover industry, which has led to all these other great opportunities and meeting people and along the way, my youngest decided to tell everybody that he was a voice actor. And so I'm one of those moms that like if my kid says they're interested in something, I'm like, all right, let's put you on a team. Let's get you trained. Let's, get you involved in whatever they're interested in. And that goes with voiceover as well. So I had to seek specific coaches that are focused on working with kids, and that was difficult. I had very good experiences, and then I had one bad experience, and we won't don't need to dive into that too much. But anyone that knows anything about voiceover knows who I'm talking about. But then, I was managed to find a wonderful coach for him who he worked with for a very long time, Martha Kahn, and then through his coaching with her, he was able to develop his skills. And then we also have another coach, Gina Scarpa, who also works with him more in character stuff, and also commercial. And she does everything actually too. She works with kids. So, and he loved it. He wanted to coach. He wanted to do it. It's been difficult though with me and with having us both in the booth together doing auditions because not only am I mom, now I'm producer, I'm director, and I'm the one who's producing his auditions. So that got a little hairy for a while, but now I think we've smoothed our edges out. And when he gets an audition, he has agents now. When he gets an audition, he has a manager and agents. When he gets auditions sent to him, present the audition to him. He says yes. He chooses. I don't choose for him. And then we both agree that, we're going to go into the booth together and we're going to audition. I, however, now am at a point where I can step out of the booth and leave him to just record the way that he needs to record because it's better for our relationship outside of the booth. When I stayed in the booth with him, It was not good. Like I was ready to jump out the window. So, but I have to share this really quickly because it's a proud mom moment. The other day, he had an audition come in, and I got him set up, and he did a recording, and I stepped out of the booth when he did it, and then I came back and I said, "Yeah, my bad. The mic wasn't hooked up, right? So it was the mic came through the laptop instead of like through the actual microphone. So he had done this whole e-learning and it was really long. And it was like a long audition and I was like, "Oh man." And so I had to walk out there and I was like, "Please don't be mad at me, but the microphone was not on." And he's like, and he actually did a really good job. And he goes, "Really? I have to re-record it?" I'm like, "Uh-huh, you do." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And so he did it, and I was really proud of him. And he did just as amazing job with the microphone on. But, I mean, it's like, it's so hard,
Stuff happens though,
Chaos.
even to us.
Right.
I mean, my computer shut off in the middle of starting.
Bro, I mean, like, keeping up with chaos. I mean, pretty
Yeah.
much speaks for itself, really.
Yeah.
So we're gonna cap this off. We're gonna go to the remaining questions of part two. But if y'all enjoyed this so far, like, comment, subscribe to me, subscribe to their channel, and yeah, we shall hopefully conclude this in the next part. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, we'll see y'all in part two shortly. So if you like this, subscribe, say hi. We don't bite, we
It's
promise.
chaos.
It is chaos. All right, see y'all in a bit. Bye. Let us proceed. So, last time we kind of talked about kids and getting started, but I think I'm just gonna combine two questions into one just for the sake of time. What has been something that you consider to be very valuable to you? Like, do you have anybody that you look up to in the industry? Because I know, Lloyd, you mentioned earlier it was Brent Mukai, but what is also some of the, yeah, sorry, favorite people and also the projects that you feel were like very instrumental for all of you guys so far on your own respective journeys? So, favorite like people, VAs that you feel inspired by, and also the projects that you've done that you consider to be some of your favorites. I know it's like picking your favorite kids, but
No.
Okay.
just generic.
Lloyd, you go first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think it's for me. Um, I think I definitely look up to people I'm in close proximity to, right? The people who I see who are doing the work and pushing themselves and learning. I mean, Jaws and Gabby, perfect
Aw.
examples, right?
Aw.
As far as like more well-known people, I guess, absolutely Brent, because he's definitely been instrumental in me knowing character stuff. Dave Fenoy, AJ
Ooh, yeah.
Beckles, and Zeno Robinson. I just black male voice actors, love them.
I think I had Dave on my podcast. It was a while back though. So,
Yeah,
Very
he's
yeah,
cool.
just
he's
wanted
he's
to
great.
sub plug,
Yeah.
shout out to him.
Um, People we've had on our podcast, like Mandy Fisher, she's
Oh yeah.
awesome. Astoria Redhead on TikTok and I think Instagram.
Yeah.
She's awesome, and just seeing the way that she informs people who are new to voice acting, but also how she emphasizes people be good at acting and marketing
Hmm.
for themselves. Mark Scott, speaking of marketing, like the list goes so far.
Yeah.
um, you
Yeah.
know, Michael Schwalbe, love him. He does character voices and will teach you to do some really,
Hmm.
I shouldn't say just creature voices. Creature,
Mm.
he will teach you to do some really crazy stuff. Um,
Interesting.
yeah, there's so many people.
It's hard. I know. Gabby, do you want to go
Yeah.
next? Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's so hard because I mean, um, looking back, I love the Rugrats, and so seeing how it was made when I was a kid, just seeing Elizabeth Daily and being like, "Oh my God, I can do that!" Like I could be a character,
Yeah.
was very enlightening to me. But just like piggybacking off of what Lloyd said, yeah, I have these people I look up to in the industry, but I think the ones that I really admire is are the ones that are in close proximity because you can see you get to see how they progress. You get to talk to them, pick their brains, ask them, and realize that they have doubts also. You know,
Hmm.
they've struggled also. And so it makes the journey less lonely, and also you feel like there are options. When you are stuck, you can ask for help. You can even reach out to many of the voicers that you get to meet,
Hmm.
and so that's been amazing. And of course, my Lloyd and Jocelyn, and all of our VO buddies, just seeing how they've progressed
Yeah.
is very inspiring.
Yeah, I would say like what Gabby's saying, piggybacking off of both of them, like having the community support,
Yeah.
through the training facilities that we've gone through or um through the meeting people here on like podcasting, has been inspiring. One guest that like really kind of sticks out like right away is Issa White. She was a guest that
Mm.
came on our podcast. I thought you were going to say her name, Gabby,
Issa
because she
White
was
also.
yeah, she was
Yeah.
like so inspirational. But I feel like every guest that we've come across on the podcast has always brought something that has been inspiring and their story has like been, just inspiring, and it's relatable. In terms
Mhm.
of like coaches I've come across, I mean, I can't not say Melissa Moats. I mean, she's
Right.
from the Voice Actor Studio. I mean,
Yeah.
she is our
Yeah.
mentor, she's Mama VO. She is just like sunshine in human form. And she's the reason why I'm still doing this because that's where I originally trained. And she, connected me with all the different coaches, Brent Mukai included. Um, that gave me the training or helped me get the training that I needed. They shared their knowledge with me through the training facility that I chose. And, I think that that's just my inspiration. Brad Highland, I'd say, like I've coached with him and I feel like he's one of the coaches that I've had outside of the voice actor studio when I branched out who really helped me and my career just get over like this hurdle, that I needed to get over personally in my journey.
So I take
Uh,
it that you've learned so much from the guests when you do the podcast.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
absolutely.
feel like that's almost like the reason why well, no. You going way back to like the
The
first half of
beginning.
this, the beginning. I started this podcast for an entirely different reason. I started this podcast because I was bored and I was no longer in radio and I am a
Yeah.
mom and I have kids and they do stuff that just makes you think like what in the world is happening right now. And so that's where this podcast has evolved from, and bringing on different people from all over the place into smushing two podcasts together, Keeping Up with Chaos and From the Booth and Beyond, into one. And anyways, so it's I don't even know where I was going. Leave it to
Well,
me to
from
lose
the
my
booth
train
and
of thought.
beyond was created because we started hanging out through Zoom, and we would practice with each other and give each other tips on
Supportive, yeah.
certain, yeah,
So kind of like feedback and stuff,
feedback
Yeah.
and moral support
or
and
accountability. Yeah.
Yeah,
accountability.
accountability. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so, we were like, wow, we have a lot to say. So, maybe we should share it because from the very beginning. And
Hmm.
so, Keeping Up with Chaos sort of started from a different place, and then From the Booth and Beyond came from another place, and we just kind of pushed them together to create one podcast. And it's more along the lines of just like what Gabby was saying and Lloyd was saying, connecting with people,
Hmm.
industry professionals, people that we run across in our paths and having conversations with them or meeting coaches and other voice actors or other artists and creatives, and hearing their stories because everybody started from some place. And it's interesting to see how we kind of all made our way on the same path,
Yeah.
like as creatives.
Yeah. And it also extends to the projects that you've done, like just collaborating with
Yes.
other studio clients. That also applies to the collaborations you've
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, I mean, kind of going back to part of the first question, which is our favorite things we've done.
Hmm.
One of my favorite jobs I would not have gotten if Melissa Moats hadn't sent me the audition. You know,
Right.
a client asked like, "Hey, do you know anybody who could fit this?" She sent me the audition. I auditioned. I got it. And there's in Vegas a nonprofit called Green Our Planet Um, that is, they have moved into some like e-learning stuff, and so I've gotten to play over the past year or so
Bless you.
a character who is like a social emotional learning teacher for like middle school and high school kid like middle school and high school kids. And I recently probably 2 weeks ago recorded with them like the high school stuff, and I remember being like, man, I could use this stuff right now. I wish I had known this back in high school about how the brain works and, how to manage your emotions. And I was sitting there, I was like, it's really cool to me that I get to be somebody who provides that for kids.
Mm-hmm.
I know how much I needed it and how much I still need it and how much the people around me still need it,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
So
that.
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably the most meaningful thing for me.
I also feel like when going back to Issa White, with like her coming on our podcast as a guest, that really originated because I auditioned for a random, audition for voiceover on Backstage, and I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and then I ended up getting booked as her voiceover. I was the voice of her holiday, one of her holiday campaigns, and I had such a great interaction with her, te through text and on the phone and then through the recording process. I thought she's such a cool person. I just kind of want to get to know her a little bit more because I know there's more to her too, not just from our interactions. And I mean, if you listen to the episode we had with Issa White, I mean,
Amazing.
she's yeah, she's just an amazing human being in person, and it was just fun to get to know her a little bit more outside of just being, her client, like having a client relationship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
even having guests
that
on this podcast. Sorry, I was just gonna say, because for me, two of the guests that we had later contacted me, and uh, I got booked by both of them.
Oh yeah, hire for
Yeah,
work. Yeah, that's right.
by John McCain and Brett Langoff.
Yeah, that's
congrats.
right.
So,
Oh, I was just saying congratulations.
oh, thanks. Oh, that was it.
Oh,
No, what I
okay.
mean is like that for me was very meaningful, like getting to know them and then them like reaching out to me and getting me involved in a project that they were working on.
Yeah. Which kind of goes off of another question that you might ask, like in terms of like, do you learn from your podcast guests? Do you like, how do you keep your longevity in the voice acting
Uh,
environment, right?
it was
And
also, yeah. And I think that also answers number five, which was that kind of explains how the business and the professional relationships, it really
yeah,
helped cultivate, your friends, voice actors, and colleagues worldwide. So it just all kind of wraps everything. I hit my mic. It all wraps everything up together. Yeah. So I'm just
it's
glad that we're able to just, sandwich all this info.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like creating community, right? Networking, getting to know other people, and having relationships with people in different like arenas of the world. You never know what just having a conversation where it's going to take you. I mean, it could create a new friendship, it could create a new connection, it could create a new opportunity. You don't know until until you get into it, right? And so, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, and
And you're
also,
always going to be scared. You're always going to be scared.
yeah,
But
yeah.
just
Yeah.
push yourself to do that. Push yourself to
Does
ask
it?
questions.
Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt, but I was going to ask, does it also help an actor maintain longevity in this business?
Oh my
I,
God. Go ahead, Lloyd.
oh, I just wanted to clarify. I just wanted the clarification on when you ask specific. I'll let Jaws answer, and then I'll.
Longevity. I think longevity
Longevity.
comes with being persistent. Knowing full well, like back to your first question,
Yeah.
you're not going to get famous like in 3 seconds of jumping into voiceover. It takes training, it takes persistency, being consistent, doing the audition. Like the work is in the audition. Our coaches told us that from the very beginning, but not until you actually get your commercial demo and then you actually start auditioning do you realize that. And then I was just, even for on camera too, the work is in the auditioning, the work is in the self tapes. The fun is the recording when you book. and working with the client. That's the fun. That's the icing on the cake. The work is the before. Like, and the work is all behind the scenes. And some people are unicorns. Some people move a lot faster through this industry as creatives than others. And some of us move at a turtle's pace. And, and I think longevity comes with persistency, being persistent and consistent.
Yeah.
Lloyd?
No, you answered the question. When the question was initially asked, I was trying to get clarification on what, because you said, does it lend to longevity? And my question in my head was, what does what lend to longevity?
Oh,
Um, but yeah, no, I think everything Josh said is absolutely true. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
you can't. I mean, with a lot of things in life, you can't make any progress if you don't just do it.
Mm-hmm.
You can think about it as much as you want to, but if you're not going to do it, then it doesn't really matter. You can read as many books, listen to as many podcasts, YouTube videos as you want to, but until you start doing it, you're not building those skills, getting the reps, getting your name out there to the people who are going to hire you,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And I think networking and creating relationships is also very important. If that means going to conferences, go to conferences. If that's in your budget, and also having a support system behind the mic or outside of the booth. Like Gabby was saying, we have an accountability group. We keep each other checked. If we have questions or concerns or, celebrations. So creating like a support system for yourself, whether it's one person or 10 people, I think that's super important. And then having the support of your family and your friends outside of the booth is super important. And then networking and creating relationships, in the industry that is of your choosing is super important too, for multiple reasons. Not all of us can afford to go to conferences. That was, but yeah, go
and
ahead.
just to piggyback off of that, for sure, in the industry, networking and
Hmm.
what have that, but keeping in mind the idea of, and it feels so cliche to say, but it always comes up, the whole like, you need to live a fuller life, a
Yeah.
full life to bring what you need to on the mic, right? You
Hmm.
have to be able to pull from the experiences and perspectives that you've experienced. So when you are immersed in community, you're
Hmm.
able to get those things,
Hmm.
to, understand people and yourself better. And I think that's very important.
100%. 100%. You can't get stuck in your booth, and not
No.
live your life and go out and do other things. And don't quit your day job. And
Yeah.
go ahead, Gabby. Were you gonna piggyback
Yeah.
off of that?
No. No, I
No.
think you guys said it beautiful.
Yeah. Before I ask the next question, I actually wanted to share my this this is specifically for Lloyd, but I got a Bowser plush that I wanted to,
Oh,
share.
Oh,
So if you guys are cool with that, just
yeah,
yeah,
I'd love to see that.
absolutely.
Of
all right,
course.
We
just
love,
give me
yeah,
yeah,
go
just give me
grab it.
one quick
Yeah.
second. I'm actually gonna pause for.
You know what I
Alrighty, yeah. So this is my Bowser plush. I just wanted
I
to
love
get
that.
just real quick for the occasion. Yeah,
So
rawr.
There's
cute.
I played VR chat for the first time a couple of weeks ago with actually the production team from a client that I was working with. They're really cool and super nerdy, and they were like, "Hey, we're gonna play VR chat," and I was like, "Okay," and so I joined them, and I had never done it before, and I found like the Nintendo 64 Bowser skin, and I was just giddy. I was
Oh
just
my
like
goodness.
walking around
Yeah,
with his theme song.
So funny.
yeah. Fun fact. Yeah, I even have this Mario. It's not a poster, but it's more so like one of those holographic. Uh, you know, po it's not really
I
a poster. Like it's more like those frame pictures that you find on like Dave and Buster's that they be having like in video game stores, retro, that type of
mm,
stuff. Yeah,
That's
so that's
cool.
it's sitting over there and I run over, dash over and get it right now, but I think I've shown oh, actually, you can see it in my interview that I did with Kenny James, who is the current Bowser voice. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's
And also
that's
cool.
happy
super
Yeah.
cool.
40th Super Mario. Yeah.
Mhm.
1985, baby.
Oh my
So
God.
there's your yeah, there's your little video game trivia for the day. But I guess we're just gonna wrap this up right now.
Yeah.
So what would be the what's your best advice that you want to give to anyone out there who have similar passions or aspirations to do what you're doing in general?
In
Gabby, do you?
I
general.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, and it's kind of repeating what I just said. Uh, I'm speaking to everyone and also myself. Just do the thing.
Hmm. I love
Just
that.
just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You're gonna sit there and watch a piece of content and think, "Oh wow, I could have done that,"
Yeah.
and you didn't. I spend most of my days, my full time job. I do photography, videography, and like editing stuff. And I see videos. I'm like, man, that's really cool how they did that. I could have done that. And the following thought is, well, why didn't you?
Yeah. Voice of reason right there.
Yeah.
You know,
Or TED Talk. It's a Lloyd talk.
someone told me I speak like a movie character,
That's
and
why
I
we love
realized
you.
Yeah.
why.
Gabby, do
I
you want
can
to?
see it. I can
Yeah.
totally hear it. Not gonna
Oh
lie.
man.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, just like Lloyd said, just do it. I mean, like I said, you're gonna be scared anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and that fear never goes away. You
Mm-mm.
just you just realize that if you don't do it, you're just gonna sit there thinking, I
Mm-hmm.
could have done that.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well just do it.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree. I feel like the only difference between the people that are doing it and the people that aren't doing it is the people decided to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And it
Mhm.
doesn't mean that they're any better or any worse or maybe the same as you, but
Yeah.
the difference is they did it and you didn't, you know? And so, and also accepting the fact that like you're gonna fail,
Hmm.
you know? Like failure and rejection is 100% the majority of it, you know? And then the small wins and the big wins are just like the fun stuff that happens along the way. But if you don't do it and then you don't fail, and then you're not going to get to the good stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So, um,
And I mean,
it's
the
hard to
failure,
digest. It's hard to
yeah,
digest.
it is. But from the failure
Hmm.
and the no's and the rejection and everything, that's when you most grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they say like one more time, like who, the people that are the ones that like, you know, are winning, quote unquote, you know, or like booking or like doing it, you know, and you look at them and you think, well, why them? Well, it's like, okay, well, they failed one more time to
Mhm.
get to that next step. They didn't quit. They did it one more time. They failed one more time or five more times or 10 more times to get to like where they are. And that's how they got there. You know, so just don't quit. That's another piece of advice is
Oh,
don't
yeah.
quit. Do not quit. Just keep going. If you
Mhm.
have to pivot or, you know, reinvent or like, you know, follow another pathway to get to where you want to go, back to Lloyd. Do it.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, just do it like how they say in the Nike or Emperor Palpatine or wherever
Yeah.
it is. Or just be
Do
like
it.
Shia LaBeouf. Just do it! Just do it! I'll
Yeah.
never get tired
Exactly.
of that. I know y'all are sick of it, but I'm sorry. Just do it! I'm never gonna stop repeating that. Sorry. It is just he is my spirit animal. So
That's so
anyway,
funny. Spirit
as well as
animal.
Bowser. Yeah, but with everything that y'all have accomplished so far, what's next for keeping up with chaos for 2025 and beyond? I don't know. What's next for the future?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh my. I didn't
Living
think.
life.
Uh,
Living life, man. What's that from? Dazed
I
and
don't.
Confused.
Maybe. I haven't seen Days and
Living
Confused.
like Larry.
Yeah.
I no. Obviously I can't speak for everyone, but I think it definitely is. That's all you really. You can plan as much as you want to, but you never know how life is gonna go.
Hmm.
And
Mm.
so, experiencing things that come towards you and accepting them with grace
Hmm.
is important. Uh, but once again, I'm gonna stop before I start going into platitudes. Yeah,
Gabby.
Well, I mean, I know as far as I know, we're all gonna continue our creative paths. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen, but I do look forward to continuing to have my accountability group and to see their wins and to share my wins as well. And not even wins, also our struggles. So
Hmm. Yeah.
uh, I hope I get certain parts or get booked. Uh, I'm gonna stay consistent, but as far as anything else, I'm not sure. Uh, we can, we can, we'll definitely continue to grow and bring more guests on. That's for sure. But we'll see where we end up this
Yeah.
December.
I feel like for the podcast, I just intuitively think about like it's like an intuition, like I stumble across different people that we interact with, and and so I look forward to those future conversations that we book and record with. In terms of like my voiceover career, I hope that like it becomes more consistent, you know what I'm saying? And like so it starts really paying for the bills. That's what I would love to see happening. And there's some things that I have on my list to do for 2025 in terms of on-camera stuff, which I told you I just checked off one we're 3 months in, which is booking with my son, my youngest son. We booked together for the very first time an on-camera project. We were background for one of the parks, but that's all I can say. But, it was like a really fun experience. And yeah, so I think what I would look forward to is just celebrating all my friends, that like watching them grow and find success and be there to support them when they fail and watch them keep going.
Yep, amen to that. So I guess now that we're at the end of this, would y'all like to share your social media websites and anything that you kind of want to,
The business.
sell out the business? Yeah, just sell out, chill of the business, if you may.
Lloyd.
Yeah, you can find me at DroidWallerVO, DroidWallerVoiceover.com. And on Instagram, you can find me at DroidWaller underscore.
Gabby.
Bro, I wish I had a name like that.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's really cool, right?
Yo, Instagram, bro.
Well, right now I only have my Instagram. So it's GabriellaBorgia.vo on
Oh,
Instagram.
I love it. We're keepingupwithchaos.net, which is our website for the podcast. And then it's jocelynrocky.com, which is my website. And then Instagram, I'm the Jocelyn Rocky because, I don't know, it gets weird sometimes when you're naming yourself on social media. And then I'm just Jocelyn Rocky on Facebook. And yes, I'm on Facebook. I might be boomerish, but yes, I'm definitely on Facebook. So those are the two most active socials I'm on. I know there's so many social platforms out there, but those are the two. I'm on everything. Those are the two that I actually interact with the most.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get it. That's basically I'm on Twitter, but it's like Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whatever's left of Twitter, more like it.
Yeah. Robert,
Yeah,
I just have to say that this has been so nice. It's been so nice
Yes.
to connect with you,
yeah,
and it was so awesome to have a conversation off camera, off mic with you a month ago. And it's been so fun to like be on your podcast and be invited to be a guest on your podcast. All of
Yeah, that
us.
was
yeah.
awesome.
Thank you
Yeah.
for having
Thank
us.
Thank you so
you.
much.
Yeah, well, it was gonna be with just Jocelyn, but I'm just like, you know what?
I'm boring by myself.
Yeah, and also like, come on, I just gotta get your podcast, just get more ears listening to you guys. So I figure it's probably the most that I could do, you
Yeah.
know.
We're way more
Yeah.
fun together as a group.
Yeah.
Oh, for show. I mean, just watch their episodes. Watch Keeping Up with Chaos on YouTube and wherever you can find them. I'll just post all the links in
Sure.
yeah, everything there. But
Thank you.
yeah, if there's oh, actually, I do want to give another shout out to Melina Tinoco?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Melina Tinoco. She's one of my favorite people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to her. So if I do a follow up with her, we'll just talk more about like, bilingual voice acting, since that's also kind of like more authenticity and more just topics that I didn't get to discuss last time with her. So yeah, if you're listening to this, Melina, you rock. Love you. yeah, keep crushing it out there. Also a mom as well. Yeah, it's kind of like a theme where I just have like a lot of mothers or fathers, just have a lot of parents that are doing voice acting on my show, which is interesting. No,
Melina is one
I'm
of
not.
my favorite people, and like
Yeah.
she's probably one of our other guests that is probably one of the other most inspiring guests that we've
Yes.
had. Yeah, I mean, we love Melina. She's also walking human sunshine.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Do
Thank
y'all
you.
have, sorry, do y'all have any closing, just anything, statements that you like to say? Anything, goodbye? What?
No,
Just anything
just
you want to
thank
close?
you.
Thank you.
Just thank
Yeah.
you. This is so
Yeah,
much fun.
this was a lot of fun. Thank you so much.
Anytime. And as for
Thank
my
you.
closing, oh, wait a minute. Let me do this. Ah, there we go. Now with all of us here, on behalf of Station Square, this is Robert Jackson, and you've just listened to Jocelyn, Gabriella, Lloyd, and I just also want to give one more shout out to somebody who unfortunately couldn't make it today, which was
Angela.
Angela.
Angela. Just want to give a shout out to Angela, who is currently doing some wedding stuff. So rock on, just keep on crushing it out there, and yeah, hopefully next time we'll have you on the show, Lord willing. But yeah, keep crushing it, and we wish you all the best of luck. And yeah, glad that all of us were able to do this, even after getting over just
Everything.
sicknesses.
Right.
And yeah, which is crazy. And even right now, me, I'm just kind of a little stuffed up, but I'm faking it till I make it. Yeah. But okay, y'all, that's it for me. Thank you all so much. This is Station Square with Robert Jackson, and I'll see y'all next time. Happy Saturday, happy March, and yeah, let's have a great rest of 2025. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye.
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 Gracias. Adios, amigos. Buenas noches, baby. Wee woo. Buenas noches. I got you. Yeah, shout out to Bowser.
Shout out to
Rawr.
Bowser.
Yeah. Ooh. I'm trying to make him wait. All right, he says bye. Yeah. Bye, Bowser. So long, gay Bowser. Woo. All right, that's it.
I get it.
I got the joke. Yeah.
If you played Super Mario 64,
Yep.
you get it.
We old school, man. And 64, baby. Yeah.
Okay.
Good old days. All right. Bye.